Wait, just stop for a moment and really let this sink in. Are the Toronto Blue Jays genuinely considering trading José Berríos after he helped carry them to within one single out of a World Series title? Because if this proposed deal making the rounds actually materializes, we could be staring at one of the most baffling front office decisions in recent franchise memory. And that is saying something for a club that has never been shy about courting controversy. The timing alone makes this feel surreal. Toronto have just swung and missed hard on 3 marquee free agents in Kyle Tucker, Bichette, and Cody Bellinger. 3 big targets, 3 empty nets. When that happens, front offices either stay disciplined or they start hearing the clock tick louder than reason. This is where panic can dress itself up as creativity, and suddenly trades that once felt unthinkable are floated as bold solutions. Enter the proposal itself. José Berríos, 31 years old, with 3 years and roughly $54 million left on his contract, sent to the Atlanta Braves in exchange for 3-time All-Star second baseman Ozzie Albies and shortstop prospect Alex Lodise. On paper, it looks tidy. 1 proven starter for an established infielder and a prospect. In reality, it feels like trading the engine of your car because you didn't like the radio. Yes, the Blue Jays rotation is crowded. Dylan Cease has arrived, Cody Ponce has been added, Kevin Gausman remains the anchor, and Chris Bassett could still return. From a spreadsheet perspective, Berríos might look movable. But baseball isn't played on spreadsheets. It's played over 6 brutal months, where durability isn't a luxury, it's survival. And that's where the logic starts to unravel. Since 2019, Berríos has made 32 starts in a season 5 different times. 5! In an era where starters are wrapped in bubble wrap and teams celebrate 28 starts like a miracle, Berríos just keeps turning up, taking the ball, and giving you innings. He is baseball's metronome, steady and unfazed, and that reliability becomes priceless when October looms. If you're enjoying this breakdown so far, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Blue Jays Report, because this story cuts to the heart of Toronto's championship identity. For Atlanta, the appeal is obvious. They don't need a flashy ace, they need stability. Berríos fits perfectly behind their top arms, soaking up innings, keeping games winnable, and allowing their bullpen to breathe. His average annual value is manageable, his track record is proven, and his presence would immediately patch their most glaring weakness. From the Braves' perspective, this is cold, efficient roster building. But Toronto's side of the ledger is far more complicated. Ozzie Albies is a terrific name, a beloved player, and his contract is borderline absurdly team-friendly. $7 million for a former All-Star feels like theft. Yet, contracts don't swing bats, and recent production matters. Albies is coming off back-to-back down seasons. The power has dipped, the consistency has wavered, and there are legitimate questions about whether his best years are already behind him. That makes this trade a bet, not an upgrade. Toronto would be wagering that a change of scenery and Rogers Center's inviting dimensions can revive Albies' bat. That's a hopeful gamble when the cost is a pitcher who has already proven he can survive the pressure of a deep postseason run. Hope is a dangerous currency for a team that was 1 out from glory. The rotation depth argument also crumbles under scrutiny. Chris Bassett isn't signed. Dylan Cease has his own injury history. Gausman isn't getting younger. If Bassett walks and Berríos is traded, that crowded rotation suddenly feels fragile, relying heavily on health and unproven assumptions. Championship rotations aren't built on fingers crossed and crossed fingers alone. There's also the matter of timing. Spring training is around the corner, a period when desperation peaks and prices rise. If Toronto truly wanted to explore Berríos' trade, waiting for an injury elsewhere could spark a bidding war. Acting now feels rushed, as though the organization is responding emotionally to free agent disappointment rather than strategically to market leverage. Zooming out, this proposed deal raises a deeper concern about philosophy. Championship organizations don't flinch after near misses. They double down. They trust the core that got them there and make calculated tweaks, not sweeping changes that introduce new uncertainty. Trading Berríos wouldn't make the Blue Jays stronger in 2026. It would make them different, and different is not always better when you're already knocking on the door. For Atlanta, this trade is shrewd. For Toronto, it borders on self-sabotage. It feels like mistaking motion for progress, as if any move is better than standing still. But sometimes the bravest decision is resisting the urge to tinker, especially when the foundation is already solid. So here we are, staring at a proposal that makes perfect sense for one team and raises alarm bells for the other. The Blue Jays are in their window right now. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is in his prime. The bullpen is strong. The roster has proven it can go toe-to-toe with the best. Trading Berríos doesn't push that window open wider. It risks slamming it shut. And now I want to hear from you. Is this front office panicking after missing out on big free agents, or is this actually a clever reshuffling of resources? Would you pull the trigger on this deal, or would you walk away without hesitation? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button if you think this would be a massive mistake, and subscribe to the Blue Jays Report, because the next decision Toronto makes could echo for years to come.